Hey everyone, my name is chaoticwolph and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendship Simulator. We're not done making friends, still more beloved trolls and some mean ones to befriend. Okay dokes, volume 10 of Faraway Lands and Nearby Pals. Ew. Wow, the word friendship just keep getting bigger and bigger, I swear. You've been lucky enough to acquire a bounty of friendships since you arrived on this planet. But there's still an emptiness nestled right in the crook of your heart's arteria. Maybe making one more friend will fix it. Maybe this next one will expand inside your chest like a sponge in a bath, pushing out all your sadness, loneliness, and insecurity. After all, number 20's the charm. Oh yeah, it is. What's this? Zebede? Don't know. Zebede Tongva. What are these names? Just keep getting more and more bizarre. And then who's this little... Oh geez, what the hell? Who's this weeaboo over here? Tegiri Kalbur? Okay, we're gonna come to you later, buddy. Okay, in just a moment. We're gonna befriend this little shiny troll over here. Tonight, you're abuzz with excitement. Wait, no. Your palm husk is vibrating in your pocket. Oh, finally, I got one of them communication devices. One of your friends is contacting you. You pull it out, and a notification pops up. What kind of weird-ass notification sound is that? It's like bzz, bzz, bzz. It's requesting to add you. Oh, it's a Twitter name. Good God, that's awful. It's requesting to add you on Twitter. The message is accompanied by a little icon, blue, with a silhouetted winged animal. Some of the similarities between this planet and your own are starting to stretch your powers of belief in coincidence. Whatever. You pull up the app and read the messages from... Could it be? Your potential new friend? I'm like getting so many new friends. I'm even getting followers now. That's crazy. OMG, hi! I hope it's okay to contact you. Oops, I should introduce myself. Haha. I saw your picture on Saraba's stream. Oh, I'm getting famous with, my streamer buddy over there. I'm one of their biggest fans. But now I'm one of yours. Aw, what I've been posting, man. What have I even been posting? Why do I have fans? That makes no sense. Love those looks. Oh, you mean my glowing skin? Anyway, I would love to chat if you're open to it. If not, it's okay. You can just ignore me, haha. Everyone else does. Nah, buddy, it's okay. I'm all about making friends, so don't you worry. Could this be the universe reaching benevolently down to do you a solid? It's like being given a giant pile of money unasked. You didn't have to do anything for this friendship. You didn't even have to walk anywhere. All you had to do was join the fabled social media and it literally appeared in your pocket. Your hands are shaking a little as you go to respond. You don't want to seem too eager, or do you? You have no idea how to approach this. You thank Buzzing for his compliments and say that you would be happy to talk sometime. In an instant, a notification pops up inviting you to download another app. Oh, dude, why would you give me another app to talk to? Kind of weird. Wow, that's kind of cool. Whoa, hold on, what the hell is this? Is this my icon? Or, I don't know. You do it and a video screen opens. Suddenly, you can see your new friend's face. He's sweetly round and roly-poly and smiling at you broadly. Hi! Zebede. Or Zebede? I still don't know. I hope it's not too sudden to gripe you like this. Is it okay? OMG, you don't have to respond to that. Sorry for being weird. Oh, what a cute little guy. Let's start over, haha. How do you know Saraba? Well, long story, bro. Apart from being extremely friendly, this troll also seems to run both sides of the conversation by himself. Befriending him is the least effort you've ever put into anything. What if they're trying to use me to befriend Saraba? You ever thought about that? His enthusiasm is really cute, but there is something about him that unsettles you. Looking at his hopeful face gives you a dark stab of humiliation you don't quite understand. I don't quite understand either. You swallow down the discomfort and tell him the story of your friendship with Saraba, leaving out Saraba's personal background. He hangs on to your every word. That's so cool. I wish I could hang out with you guys. I definitely feel like they're trying to get to Saraba through me, so I don't know if I trust them quite yet. OMG, not that I'm implying you want to hang out. It's just, no one ever comes to visit me. He takes out his phone and taps a few keys. A notification box pops up in front of the video. It's a direct message from Buzzing that just says, sad face. You ask him why that is. I live in the middle of nowhere. It's good for the bees. Bees? Are you a beekeeper? But I guess no one really thinks it's worth the effort. Oh my god, that's why you're called Buzzing. You're a bee, dude. To come all the way out here. It's just me and my Lucis, which is probably a giant wasp. And he can't really do much around the hive. Oh, actually, even his screen thing is like a honeycomb. Just noticed that. Sigh. It's fine. He really says the word sigh out loud. Jeez. Despite saying it was fine, he seems dejected with a distinct downward angle to his shoulders. Sorry, his shoulders. His buzzy accent is kind of getting to you. Let's ask him about where he lives. You say it must be nice to live in the countryside. You mentioned that you did get to see some of the rural Alternia when you met Skyla, and it seemed beautiful. Zebedee's face twists in a grimace. Yeah, I guess. Sensing this is a moment for sympathy, you tell him you're sure his friends would come visit if they were able to make the trek. Sure. It sounds like you did visit another troll that lives in the countryside though. So I guess you thought she was cooler than me. That's like... it's whatever. I don't need my friends to pick me first. You struggle for words. You want to reassure him, but you also don't know him that well yet. You weakly protest that you didn't mean to say Skyla was cooler than him, but she is though, okay? Don't tell him. You didn't even know him then? Maybe you'll be able to visit him in the future too. Yeah, maybe. I've heard that before. He's not rejecting you, but you get the sense that a wall has been raised. You're sure you're going to keep chatting with Zebedee from time to time, but you get the sense you're never going to become a true friend. You're stuck in acquaintanceship limbo. Looks like you failed to earn his trust. Awkward. Oh, that stings. Literally the weirdest dude ever. Like, they were enthusiastic to become friends with me, but they're like, oh, no, it's not gonna work out. Okay. His face is just like in a permanent state of sadness. Okay, in any case, let's ask him if it's really fine. What's really fine? I forgot what we were talking about. You tell him that you understand if he's not okay with it. After all, you say it would really hurt your feelings if your friends didn't make any effort for you. Isn't that what friends are supposed to do? He gives you a grateful smile, some tension releasing from his frame. Oh, I would never ask that of anyone. I don't want to be annoying. Like, sometimes I really wish someone would take the time to visit, but I totally don't blame any of my friends for not coming. Like, I understand that you have to decide which friends come first, and I just don't. Some people are just cooler and more fun than me. It's understandable. This really must be your lucky day. First of all, no one has threatened bodily violence towards you in the past 10 minutes. Your fear for your life is at a low-key, reasonable level. Second, this troll is making it really obvious what he wants you to do. This is a total slam dunk of a friend opportunity. There's only one option. Say you'll visit. Zebedee's face transforms utterly. It's astonishing. He goes from sullen and shadowed to utterly radiant. Your heart pangs with an overwhelming surge of fellow feeling. True, you've seen other trolls react emotively at the sight of meat and blood and your own body sparkling under the moonlight, but Zebedee is the only one with such an extreme reaction to friendship. Man, you are really feeling this little guy. You'll come. You'll come? Really? That's so cool. Thanks. This is gonna be so good. I'm gonna get all the best snacks, and my Lucis is really cool. You'll like them. This is so exciting. You leave Zebedee to his preparations even as the bubble of joy inside you goes a little wobbly. You aren't used to such high expectations from prospective friends. Mostly people just expect you to be an imbecile. You absolutely can't screw this up. You made a promise to your brand new friend. Unfortunately, that promise is to visit him in a house that is, by his own admission, so far away that not even people who know what the fuck is going on can be asked to find it. You haven't thought this through, but that's never stopped you before. You haven't even asked him where he lives, dude. Like, so, you know, bad decisions all around. First things first, what old friendships can you call on to help you out? I.e., who is likely to have a vehicle of some kind? I don't know. You could always call up to Gora to see what he thinks, but you don't want to be too needy with him. Amnesia, well, doesn't look tall enough to reach the pedals. I don't even think she's old enough to drive. Zebra, just no. I know, dude, I feel the same. You are a strong, independent alien who don't need no troll? Well, except I kind of do, you know, I need friends. You also don't think aliens are allowed on public transit, and you don't know the number for troll taxis? So, you'll do crime, perfect. What did Kanaya do when she stole a car? Punch the lock off with one big fist? I said Kanaya, Kanayo. Okay, whatever. All these names start to look the same once you say them a bajillion times. You won't be punching off any doors, but eventually you'll find a car that isn't locked, almost like someone hopefully left it for you. Haha, sucker. So I just know how to drive alien cars. Okay. It pricks slightly at your conscience as you slide into the seat and fire up the autopilot. I see how it is. Heading out into the country once again. But recently, anything that isn't brutal, indiscriminate violence kind of doesn't faze you. So you stole a car. Big deal. It's not like anybody died. This is it. So begins your gradual slide into total moral iniquity. A hardened criminal. That's you. Zebedee does live pretty far out. He hadn't been exaggerating. You use the time to curl up in the back seat and catch up on some sleep, all the while trying to ignore the fact that the car reminds you of being inside a large squishy animal, whatever it is. At least you get a few radio channels out here. Oh, look at all the beehives. Zebedee's hive, a literal hive, is big and buzzing, literally. You hear a persistent drone of bees, and standing right outside is the boy himself. He's so excited, he's bouncing on his toes, clapping his hands together. He's a gold symbol on his shirt. You wonder if he's a psychic. You've finally been here long enough to pick up on racial stereotypes. Go you. You're here. You actually came. I seriously can't believe that someone actually went out of their way to visit me. Well, you don't really have a way to go out of, but you keep that to yourself. You are more than happy to accept the friendship points. Zebedee leads you into his hive, which, like Skyla's, looks like he made a lot of it himself. Look at everything, it's all bee themed. There are hanging baskets of flowers and plants everywhere, and a zigzag shelf holding a stack of colorful books. In one corner is a big screen TV and an entertainment center. Zebedee vanishes into another room and leaves you to get comfortable on the big couch, which is unsettlingly striped yellow and black. The buzzing is pretty loud in here too, and you look around for bees. You're not thrilled about the bees, honestly. You wish there was some music on your phone to drown them out. Too relatable. You're thinking about following Zebedee and seeing if he needs help, when your phone starts to vibrate. You look down and recognize Sarava's username. Let her go to voicemail. I'm gonna answer, dude. Might as well. You have no idea how long Zebedee's gonna be in there, and if there's anyone with music, it's this troll. Hey dude. Sup? Can't believe it took you this long to get a chitter, Lamo. Damn, you're like really lost without my help, huh? Looks like you only got 2 followers though. Wow, dude. And Zebedee doesn't contact me? Kind of shady, don't you think? You can feel some nameless tension and you bleed away into the thump of the lo-fi chill hop beats murmuring softly through Sarava's mic. If only you could just go spend time with your cool friends and stop making new ones. But even the thought makes your stomach wring itself out like a washcloth. There's no point wishing for things to be different from how they are. You do anything for new friends. Anything. Why can't we chill with our old friends? Also, what's their name? Sarava streams for sweeps. Kinda long. You ask them if they have any chitter advice, you know, on how to be a cool guy online. I mean, you definitely came to the right trail. But I don't know if I should be like managing your brand more than I already did. It's just risky for me, you know? It's hard enough maintaining my image as is. Other streamers always on my boat, Lamal. Doesn't mean we can't hang though. I mean, it was really chill last time. Also, I need my clothes back. I think I might have lost those. You assure Sarava you still definitely have their clothes and that you totally did not destroy them in an epic battle to save a giant collie. That's cool, no worries or anything. I was wondering if you wanted to hang out today. If not, it's chill. I got all sorts of shit I can get up to, Lamal. You know how it is. But yeah, let me know. Oh, wow. How did you suddenly become so popular? It's dumb 2 followers, you know? Maybe this is what happens when you finally get online. Or online. Not only are you hanging out with one friend, you've got another one clamoring for your attention. Social media is amazing. You tell Sarava you would love to chill, but you're currently out in the middle of nowhere hanging out with someone else. Maybe Sarava has heard of him? Zebede Tongva? Surely everybody on the internet knows each other, of course. I don't know him. Sorry, Lo. You spell out Zebedee's Twitter handle. Saraba's face does a complicated dance between shock, worry, and wry amusement. Oh dang. Lamo, what are the odds? Small internet. So Saraba does know him. I mean, I know of him. Man. Awkward. Are you guys tight though? You tell Saraba that you aren't tight yet. Pretty loose, but you're working on it, which is why you're currently in the middle of nowhere sitting on this bee-themed couch. Saraba scratches awkwardly between their horns. Is that like what you go online to do? That whole scene? Scene? The only scene you know about is the friendship scene, and possibly the clown scene, and the meat scene. Actually, you may be in more scenes than you give yourself credit for. Yeah, you forgot about the assembling furniture scene. And you get the feeling you are right on the edge of another one. You can taste it and it makes your stomach growl. You tell Saraba whatever the scene is, you're definitely not part of it. You don't even know what they're talking about, so what are they talking about? Not to like talk shit or whatever, because God knows girls who live in a glass hive of tenuously created online social interaction shouldn't throw stones or whatever. Fuck knows I got up to some shit back in the day. But you maybe shouldn't hang out with this dude. Especially when you're like right on the edge of breaking out yourself. I mean, you have to be careful with this shit. I told you what happened to me. Internet fame isn't a joke. They gesture vaguely toward their missing eye. Here, let me just link you. A link pops up in the gripe chat box. You follow it to what happens to be a fanfiction account. Oh god, are they a famous fanfic writer in whatever fandom this is? Nothing wrong with a little fanfiction. You've never been much of a writer yourself, but you're pretty pro anybody doing whatever they feel like as long as it's not gruesome murder. You're a real chill dude that way. I mean, right, yeah, same. Lamal. I'm not trying to judge or whatever, but you'll see what I mean. Scroll down. Maybe it's like really bad fanfic. You scroll past the first few pages. Most of these seem to be about some band that you've never heard of. And then, almost at the end, you find... Oh damn. This appears to be a fanfic about Saraba. You don't click through. You kind of get the idea from the tags. Oh, what kind of tags? Well, Saraba is a big deal after all. You guess it makes sense that people would include them in their fantasies. You do all the time, in a friend way. Yeah. You get what I'm saying now, though. I mean, live your dreams, right, Lamal? Any guy on the internet can write whatever he wants about me, but like, I don't want to see it. Just a heads up, you know. You get how that could be a little awkward. You tell Saraba that you will be careful of your infant internet fame. Though you doubt anyone will ever write anything about you. Who want to read about your dumb fuck exploits? Yeah, Lamal. Come here whenever, I'll smoke you up. Great, more bug ass. You end your call with Saraba and navigate back over to Zebedee's fanfiction account. Watch me become a fan of all their works. You pick one of the ones not about Saraba, one of the teen-rated ones. You don't have anything against erotica, but maybe you'll save it for later? You don't know any of these characters, and the context is doubly indecipherable. The troll music business. But if this really is Zebedee's writing, he's pretty good. You have such talented friends. Hey! Sorry it took so long. Shit! Zebedee sneaks up on you from behind. You quickly lock your phone, but apparently not quickly enough. You! How did you find this? Oh god, you went searching for me? I thought we were friends. And friends share their fanfics, don't they? What? Of course you're friends. Friends don't go digging through each other's shit. You dug through my shit, I'm pretty sure. I would have showed you my fic if you just asked. I mean, I wouldn't have known about it in the first place, I guess. You tell him that you absolutely did not go looking for it. Saraba gave it to you when they called you up just now. Zebedee's face closes down. Is it just you, or has the sound of the bees gotten louder? Oh, right. So your cool friend Saraba told you. I see how it is. No, they just called you. You just answered the phone. No, it's fine. I totally get it. Haha. Even coming all this way out here, I'm still not a priority. Wow, someone's a bit of clingy. It's fine. It's not even a big deal. I'm totally used to it. You and Saraba. What are you, mate spritz? You are absolutely not mate spritz with Saraba. You are not mate spritz with anyone as far as you know? Fuck, having so many friends is exhausting. Oh really? Like your life is so great, I get it. You have just so many friends and you're so popular and everybody wants to spend time with you. Zebedee is crying and not trying to hide it. It's very sad and extremely awkward. You feel terrible, also like kind of a dickhead. Yeah, okay. You're always doing all this complaining about your lot in life. When to tell the truth, you've actually got a lot going for you. You have all these amazing friends who go out of their way to check up on you and ask if you want to hang out. Of course, all that complaining is just in your internal monologue. It's not like anybody can hear your thoughts, thank God for that. Well, I'm so glad that you and Saraba have each other. Maybe you can go hang out with them and make fun of me some more. I'm sorry, Zebedee, but you kind of have a lot of, like confidence issues, I guess. I don't know. You try to tell us, Zebedee, you were absolutely not making fun of him. You were just curious about his hobbies and interests. You absolutely want to read his fan fiction. But the kid isn't listening anymore. Fuck, you hope the car has enough gas to get you back to civilization. The awkward, dude. Yeah, awkward. Who knew in order to make friends, you had to ignore some of your other friends? So I guess we'll let Saraba's call go to voicemail. You decide to just let the call go to voicemail. You're busy with a different friend right now, and you can just call them back on your drive home. Or not home, but the closest you've got right now. It will give you something to do besides sleep. You mess around on your phone for a little bit, filling out your profile on your chitter. Alien invasion of one? Just here, I guess. That's honestly the best you can come up with. You aren't quite sure how your age would translate to troll years, sweeps, so you don't bother with that. You've already gained some more followers. Saraba retweeted your intro tweet, or chirp, whatever. Zebedee comes back in with a tray of snacks and 2 glasses of something bright red that you hope isn't Fago or blood, but that goes without saying at this point. Hey, who are you talking to? I heard your palm husk go off. You tell him that you weren't talking to anybody. You let the call go to voicemail. Does he really think you're the kind of person who would take a call from someone else while you're having a hang sesh? Heck no. Aw, you didn't have to do that. Sure, Zebedee, you say that now. Zebedee says that, but he's obviously incredibly happy that you did. He sets the tray down and hops up on the couch next to you. So, what do you want to do? I have a bunch of really cool stuff we could check out, but I didn't want to make you do just whatever I wanted. I know we barely know each other, haha. You tell him that whatever he wants to do is fine with you. You aren't picky in any sense of the word. Zebedee seems a little SC by your lack of an opinion, but eventually he puts on the first episode of a pirate show. This is nice. It's nice to just chill for a little while. But you barely get through the opening credits before Zebedee changes his mind and puts on a show about space pirates instead, but then he gives up on that too. He keeps looking at you for input, but the extent of your experience with troll pop culture is Remeli's knockoffs and that one shitty romance flick Palipa took you to see. You are not informed enough to have an opinion. You are seriously down for whatever. Zebedee does the same thing with video games for a while, becoming increasingly more distressed. You feel deep empathy at his plight, but also mild annoyance. You understand this unreasonable fear of beefing it in front of your friends. You feel like that pretty much all the time. You eventually suggest to Zebedee that you could just watch the last thing he watched on GrubTube. Zebedee goes a delicate grey color that you've come to realize is the troll version of a blanche. Yeah, we could do that for sure, but you know a guy's GrubTube queue is, kind of personal. Not that I don't trust you. If you can't trust randos you met online and invited to your house, who can you trust, right? I of course, dude. You feel that way too. You've also felt the overwhelming urge to throw yourself into the arms of strangers since you crash-landed out here. You tell Zebedee that you aren't going to judge him. You don't judge your friends. An overwhelming look of trembling gratitude comes over him, and once again, you feel an uncomfortable pulse of empathy. You are used to being the desperate one, too true. You aren't sure how you feel about this turnabout, all this social power. Okay. The two of you scroll down to the history on his GrubTube account, and you find yourself choked up by the incredible trust he is showing in you right now. Letting someone behind the curtain? There doesn't really seem to be anything worth getting stressed over. No porn or anything. On GrubTube, please. He does have a lot of videos of Saraba, specifically ones where they are actually on camera. Yeah, they're so cool. It's so rad that you guys are tight. I really want to meet them someday. He sighs, then he sighs again, a little louder. You catch on to your part in this bit and tell him that you can probably figure out a way to make that happen. You hope you don't have to follow through on that. Sarava's a busy guy and you aren't sure they actually let anyone into their hive? Well, besides you. But you seem to be the exception to a number of rules. You keep that last part to yourself. The rest of the videos in his recent history are about a band called Hatch to Dance, music videos, interviews, and compilations of vlogs. You ask him what all that is. You've never heard of H2D? Really? They're so cool, they're my fave. I mean, he gets shifty-eyed. I mean, whatever, they are right, I guess. Their music is kind of catchy and they have a pretty dope group dynamic. You mentioned that all of them seem to be pretty good looking too. Really? You think so? You point out a guy with tall horns that swoosh into hooks and a lot of white hair that falls into his eyes. This guy is particularly handsome. Him? I mean, he's okay, I guess. If you're really basic. Did you just call me basic, Zebedee? I thought we were friends. I'm taking that friendship card back. Not that I think you're basic or anything. He shows you some of the music videos. They have really high production values and extremely elaborate sets. All of the band members sing and dance and get very close to kissing each other, but of course they don't, right? He's been really nervous about showing you this. His deep, dark secret was that he likes music videos. Is being into pretty pop stars some kind of cultural taboo? Not really, just it's kind of lame, right? And I just really want you to like me. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. And you do like him. You just wish he wouldn't say shit like that. It's embarrassing. And also it reminds you that you yourself have got around doing pretty much the same thing. I know, right? It's a hard way to look at yourself in the face, right? Pretending to agree with everything your prospective friends say. Lying, saying you're into things you aren't. Just all around being a big phony? The circumstances are different for you though. You're an alien. This is a hostile territory. You don't have a hive or a lucis or even horns. So it's way less pathetic for you to be like this than it is for Zebedee, right? Deep down, you know you're full of shit. You're just coming up with reasons to excuse behavior in yourself that you condemn in others. You hang your head in shame. Zebedee, who is not privy to your internal monologue, looks confused. Is it possible that you're doing the whole thing in your eternal quest for friends? Could it be that before you can spiral any further into a full-blown existential crisis, you hear a noise from outside that you really don't like. Several noises, in fact. A crash, followed by a thump, followed by a "Get out of here, you fucking piece of shit! You thief!" Oh dear. Zebedee scrambles around to look over the back of the couch. You can just make out a shape through the window. Hey, this is a totally wild question that I typically would never ask a potential friend, but did you steal that scuttle buggy? Oh shit. How'd they find me? Hahaha. Funny story. You didn't know else to get out of here? What? You didn't know else to get out here? You did it for him. For your nascent friendship. Oh wow. Nobody's ever stolen a scuttle buggy from me before. Haha. Did you forget to take the GPS chip out though? Because I think whoever you stole it from found it. GPS chip. Right. Fuck. This is not an auspicious start to get your life of crime. It's just, what? It's not an auspicious start to your life of crime. Maybe you aren't quite ready to go it alone yet. Another crash and rattle. It sounds like someone is taking pieces out of Zebedee's hive. You get up and start for the door. Hey, what are you doing? You can't go out there, they look big. And they sound huge, you'll get killed. Right, he's definitely got a point there. But whoever is outside seems intent on demolishing his hive brick by brick, so they're gonna get in eventually anyway. Better for you to go out there now and face the music so at least one of you gets out of this. Zebedee stares at you. Weird globby golden tears pool at the corners of his eyes. You would do that? For me? Nobody's ever offered to die for me before. Well, I didn't say that, but pretty much. That's so nice. Yeah, you're pretty nice. Also pretty idiotic considering you're about to go give yourself up to a big angry troll whose car you absolutely stole. Well, it's been fun while it lasted. Actually, it's been mostly terrible. Oh well, goodbye cruel world. Wait! You have one hand on the doorknob when Zebedee's shout rings against the walls and ceiling. No one is touching my new friend. Outside, the buzzing rises to a rattling crescendo, so loud that it no longer sounds like animals. It sounds like weather or a fighter jet. The intruder screams. You wince, but you're also overwhelmed by gratitude and excitement. Zebedee did that. For you. The screams stop after a few seconds and the buzzing gradually recedes. You and Zebedee are left staring at the door, then at each other. Behind you, GrubTube is auto-playing a H2D interview. Little ambient crackles of the white electricity you've come to associate with psychic Reese Zebedee before that phase 2. Did he seriously telekinetically gather up a bunch of bees and just throw them? No, that sounds hard and potentially dangerous for the bees. I more just asked them nicely. I'm bad at it though, sometimes it doesn't work. Well, it sure worked this time. Yeah. Zebedee nods and then he nods again. Yeah, that was pretty cool, right? The two of you venture outside to see what's going on. Nothing is going on. The night is quiet. The car is exactly where you left it, and there's no sign of the bees or the intruder. So either they ran away or got stung so many times they dissolve into the sludge. You feel another pang of conscience, but it's not enough to cover up your ecstatic surge of happiness when you see how chuffed Zebedee is to have set some bees on a guy. You tell him you're grateful. You think about adding that you're proud of him, but you don't want to literally make him explode. You let him hug you instead. Guess this means you have a scuttlebuggy now? Yeah, spoils of war. You want some buttery exploded kernels? I make them myself. Well, I put the kernels in a pot and explode them. You tell him that sounds great. He's honestly pretty fun to visit, minus the sudden attack. You're having a really nice time. And that part was honestly entirely your fault. He should quit putting himself down so much and being such a desperate piece of shit. Good God, you mean that in the nicest way possible. And it's pretty good advice in general. You know, just to have floating around out there. Wow, look at that. Finally, we can be friends. Also, what the hell is this cartoon? I don't know, somebody translate that. Crazy how we finally met someone who probably wants friends more than us. But we befriended them, or we befriended each other. Wow, mind blown. And now we're gonna befriend some kind of weird nerd here. Don't even know what he's all about. In an utterly unsurprising turn of events, the night finds you trolling Alternia in search of, well, trolls, the friendly type preferably, although you've been known to work wonders with hostile folks too. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you fine. Teals live relatively comfortably and are usually only mildly disdainful of you. This strikes you as a good place to search for companionship. You've got another pressing concern though, a faint glow far on the horizon, which suggests that the sun will be rising soon, a couple hours from now at most. Nights in Alternia seem to last forever, but when the daylight hits, it hits hard, like a truck, but the truck is on fire, and the fire is nuclear fusion, and the truck is a star. Point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You better snag a buddy before it's too late. You, the strange hornless thing. Speak of the devil. You whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheathed behind his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with a rigid, composed air. What are you, some kind of a mutant troll? Or another sentient creature? Definitely the latter, you say. Unless he would prefer the former, in which case you're that, actually. But mutants, you've learned, are not particularly well liked on this planet. An alien? I won't have to call you that. What are you, some kind of troll hunter? Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be a coal-on-site species. Lucky for you, I don't have to loose my blade, and lucky for me to have found a potential comrade. I know what you seek. Shelter and friendship, not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moving on. You seek the meeting place of the Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art Appreciation Society. The what? What kind of nerd talk is this? Or, as some less kosher souls will call it, the Anime Club. Oh, a club. Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. You didn't really believe it then, but maybe things are different here in Alternia. You confidently assert that yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting due to no shows, but now I can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. Oh god, am I the only one in this club? He gestures toward his hive and begins to stride confidently toward it, but then he rethinks it, pausing to look back at you. Wait. Subs or dubs? Oh god. He's definitely a freaking nerd. Considering he's such an elitist anime fan, or whatever the hell that long ass title thing he said, he probably prefers subs, and I kind of do too, but I'm gonna say dubs. Oh god, he likes doves! Perfect, a fellow connoisseur. Let's continue. Oh god, I should have said subs. Tegiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow and you step into the foyer. Oh wow, look at all this anime stuff. Nerd! The hive looked normal from the outside, normal by troll standards at least, but the inner decor has an entirely different vibe to it. It reminds you of Japanese architecture. Is this name even real? Probably not. Tegiri takes off his sandals before entering the next room. You took your shoes off too, if you had any. Oh god. As you step into his living room, you are assaulted, not literally, thankfully, by an absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did a Gorigo search for otaku collection and opened the first result. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of wall available, and the inches of wall that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVDs, manga, and other such forms of media. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy a veritable cornucopia of anime figurines, most of whom seem to be in varying states of undress. Also, his like, I don't know, theme song sounds like a battle music. You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alternia, and both would be a lie. Tegiri has arranged his merch meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom to fuchsia at the top. I see you are admiring my fine East Alternian collectibles. I polish them daily, just as I polish my blade. Don't touch them, or you'll taste folded steel. You slowly retract your hand. You wouldn't dream of touching them. That was never ever something you were planning on doing. You won't even breathe on them. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles, just in case. Oh god, I stepped on something. That's a cute dog though. With that step, you bump into something behind you and hear a soft ruff. As you spin around to look, you see what must be Tegiri's Lucis surveying you with an intense gaze. It looks a lot like a Shiba Inu if they were twice the size and had opposable everything. Honestly, watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing at you is pretty entrancing. That's actually kind of horrifying. A dog monkey? Eventually you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room. You hear some rustling in what you assume is the kitchen. That was Tadashi Inu, my Lucis. Oh, this is the biggest nerd ever. I bet he renamed all this. I don't even think that's your real name, dude. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei. Yeah, dogs are great, you respond, and then immediately wish you could take that back. Dogs are great! That's gotta be the blandest possible statement you could have made. And possibly inaccurate too? What's this thing called? A bark beast? A fetch fee? A wolf gremlin? Oh, Tegiri isn't even paying attention to you anymore. He's busy perusing his shelves, picking out some DVDs. Per my viewing schedule, we'll watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and from one recent release. But since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of less about series. Philosopher Half Iron. What the hell is that supposed to be? Fullmetal Alchemist? Philosopher Half Iron? Perhaps we shall instead begin with the first season of School-Fed Heroism and transition into some episodes of Kismet Struck Morning. The original airing, of course, and not the censor one with the ridiculous CGI dragon. Ugh. Looks like Tegiri intends to take full control of the morning's activities, which you find entirely copacetic. The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up. True. It's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far, so you're sticking to it. With deft and precise movements, Tegiri retrieves a disc from its container and pops it in the troll equivalent of a DVD player. It makes a slimy, chugging noise as it sucks the disc in, and like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little disgusted. The DVD player hums and Tegiri's TV lights up with a colorful title screen. You're ready to get settled in for a journey through the wonderful world of the animes, but he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in. Hang on. This isn't a correct copy. The localization on these lines was changed after the original translator was called by a purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. I specifically ordered the first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable. Tegiri stops the DVD player, ejects the disc, and places it back in its case. Come, there's still time in the night. We need to go resolve this immediately. The shop that imported it for me is nearby. Nerd. He heads for the door and beckons for you to follow, which you do. You guess it was too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, wasn't it? At least you get to go shopping for animes. My character clearly is not into the animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be in one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder? No, unlike most stores in Alternia, this specialty shop is run by a living troll, a fellow collector who would not entrust such work to automation. So one would expect, with an actual ThinkPad involved, there would be no careless mistakes like this. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble. You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Does he know how awful it is here? You don't want a human explain to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here. Oh, you guess he knows? He's staring at one of the many billboards that lie in the streets, which has been defaced with bright red graffiti. It's saying some pretty nasty stuff about Teresa. Rebel sentiments grow by the moment. Alternia lies on the verge of peril, a blade's edge, and not any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp, folded steel katana, forged under the East Alternia moonlight, heated by the bell's breath of a magnificent draconian lucis, cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall, and fit to be handled only by a true expert. Do you dance? You're a little caught off guard by that question. Dancing? As in moving one's body to music? Yeah, that's dancing. In a way, yes. I think he means dancing as in blaze dancing. Moving to the sweet music of steel on steel, the rhythm of combat, the stiletto step that weaves death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance? Oh, sword fighting, of course. You really should have figured that one out. This guy's dial has only 2 settings, talking about swords or talking about anime, and sometimes talking about anime swords. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at once. You tell him that you don't know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool and you love to learn. Cool? Huh. Swordplay is more than cool. It is a way of life, a code of honor. To pick up the blade is to bind yourself to the tenets of Bushido and to be prepared at all times to enforce justice, the only way a swordsman knows, through steel. Someday the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum. God, this is like if Terezi was a really annoying anime nerd. I must be ready to show them the true, magnificent terror of the blade. Who knows, maybe I would even be awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor. A troll can dare to dream. So that's why he practices swordplay, huh? To enforce justice? Kinda like a vigilante? Vigilante? Please. I would only ever call a troll who legally deserved death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for? You don't take him for a moron at all. In fact, he's very smart and clever and just. You hope you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to enjoy the praise. We're here. This won't take too long. He's taking you to a night market that reminds you of the place where you met Palipa. A strip mall lies to the left of the many tents and stalls, and a sign above one door reads, Super Tapato Imports. As you enter, Tegiri makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking goldblood with pinkish-looking eyes. You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks a lot like Tegiri's living room, but bigger. Hey, look, it's Troll Mega Man. Oh, the scale mates too. Anime figurines on sale for what looks to be a preposterous amount of money, DVDs and comics lining the shelves, arcade games in the corner. There's even a section for replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately deadly for your liking. Skulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't quite tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particularly interesting DVD when you're distracted by a commotion at the counter. You're pretty sure you heard Tegiri snarling something about his rights as a consumer. Looks like trouble is brewing. You turn your head toward the counter and listen in. Do you really think you can get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am? My blood caste? A teal blood like me has connections, a vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call, ready to be unsheathed against my hapless foes. The legal force I can bring to bear against you is greater than your perilled mind could ever imagine. A fleet of legends lacerators will descend on you like shadow clones, each armed with the greatest weapon of them all, knowledge. And with our intricate understanding of the Alternia legal code, you will be mired in suits so myriad, so mind-numbing, you will wish for the swift and early death my blade can provide. Or, you could offer me an exchange of equal or greater value to my original purchase. Which path will you choose to walk, scum? You wander closer to the counter hoping you might be able to help resolve the situation, but instead you blunder right into the olive blood and send a box tumbling from his hands to the ground. A bunch of assorted products spill out as the shopkeeper gasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is. Looks like some more DVDs and manga. One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and a bright pink sign. Another features some red-blooded douchebag wearing pants way too tall for him. Sounds awfully familiar. Tegiri picks up one of the mangas and waves it in front of the shopkeeper's face. Care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate number the 2nd, section 3.2. The depiction of non-standard hemological attributes is strictly forbidden. Imperial Dictate number the 7th, section 5. Material which encourages action against the state is considered contraband of the highest degree. So all teal bloods know the law, huh? The olive blood, who can clearly see the situation careening downhill like a scuttle buggy without wheel stops, begins to creep toward the door. You love to do the same, but you can't give up on a potential new friendship. It's basically pathological. To think my favorite Eastern Alternian hobby shop could stoop so low as to peddle this criminal filth. What a sickening betrayal. The shopkeeper stammers, offering a litany of muddled explanations that only seem to incense Tegiri further. He was holding it for a friend. No wait, it's satire? Tegiri slams a palm down on the counter and his eyes shoot open, revealing dark purple irises with a strange swirl pattern. So you're telling me his eyes were closed this whole time? Imperial Dictate number the 61st, section 2. Satire is especially contraband. You think you can mess with me? I've watched countless hours of legal drama, played and replayed legendary, lacerated, and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. And now, it's time for the punishment due. You're fucking dead, kiddo. He's been watching Ace Attorney. As Tegiri leans over the counter, his free hand grips the hilt of his katana and tenses, ready to draw. He's about to straight up execute this guy. Oh jeez. Oh, am I gonna not intervene and let this guy kill this guy? I guess. You really don't want to get in between the shopkeeper and Tegiri's sword. For all you know, this really does warrant an immediate execution for you to judge. You do, however, squint a little so you don't have to see the full gory detail of the culling. Turns out it's not nearly as gory as you expected. Tegiri leaps over the counter and swings wildly at the guy, but many of his attacks fail to connect. God, he sucks. It's mostly a bunch of bombastic anime-style moves that don't translate well to actual combat. Oh jeez. Still, some blood hits home, or some strikes hit home, drawing a spray of murky gold blood that jolts the shopkeeper out of his petrified fear. He screeches and unleashes a strobing psionic blast from his eyes, causing Tegiri to stagger back disoriented. The flash of light doesn't seem to have caused any real damage, but it offers the perfect opportunity to flee. By the time your eyes have adjusted, the only thing they see is the back door swinging wildly in his wake. Unsurprisingly, the olive blood is nowhere to be seen as well. Tegiri glances down at his katana, staying with the blood of the shopkeeper, and slowly sheaths it. His hand is shaking, claws tapping the hilt restlessly. He turns slowly to you, forcing himself back into his usual stoic posture. He got lucky, that's all, but he can't hide forever. Let's go. We need to report this to a drone. Oh, you're such a suck-up, dude. I guess he really believes in the laws of this world. He strides out of the shop, leaving you to follow hurriedly behind. What a mess. You hesitantly ask him whether it was really necessary to try and kill that boy for what he did. Of course it was. The law is absolute. A foreigner like you might not understand. It is not my duty to question the righteousness of my actions. I am but a tool. You are a tool. I am but a tool to which the law is enforced. I am the blade that her imperious condescension wields to maintain order in this world of chaos. Just like this drone. He gestures to one of the big hulking drones that you've grown all too familiar with during your stay here on Alternia. Right now, it looks like it's cleaning up some bronze-colored blood that was splattered on the side of a building. Tegiri approaches and hails it, beginning to explain that there's a collector's shop he needs to report for rebel activity, but the drone isn't listening to any of that. It slowly turns from him to stare directly at you, and it raises— oh god, it's gonna kill me— and it raises its weapon to your face. A grating electronic noise issues from its metallic grill. In the immortal words of a wise cartoon dog, ruh-roh. Hold it. This creature is under my protection. It has committed no crime. If you continue this attempted culling, I will strike back with my katana. And a strongly worded letter to your superiors. The drone seems supremely annoyed that it can't just get right down to culling a motherfucker, but Tegiri's cast must be just high enough to give it pause. You, the motherfucker in question, are incredibly relieved. That relief quickly fades when the drone produces a palm husk with a blurry picture of you on the screen and a lot of text beneath. Most of it flashing red. That's never a good sign. Oh god, I want it? Why am I want it? It looks like a rap sheet. Tegiri reads through it quickly, which is a pretty impressive feat considering his eyes are still closed and his expression darkens the further down he gets. Wanted under suspicion of meat product theft? Wanted under suspicion of meat product theft? Heist of fine art. Why am I wanted under suspicion? That doesn't make no sense. Accomplice to the assassination of a Violet Blood? Oof, you didn't realize you racked up such a heavy list of crimes. He's already rounding on you with fury radiating off every inch of his being. It's terrifying. You've seen this guy arguing with a retail clerk. You know what he's capable of. All this time, I thought your soul was open to the way of the samurai. I thought I had met a potential new connoisseur of the animated arts. But no. Your blood pusher pumps only lies through your villainous veins. You were just looking for an alibi, a place to bide your time, to hide away from the trolls until it was time to indulge once more in your criminal ways. You tried to defend yourself, you didn't do any of those things, and you had a perfectly good reason for most of them. Tegiri isn't buying it. He's clutching his katana's hilt so tight, veins are bulging on his hand. Silence, coward. The time has come for my blade to strike true. He draws his blade, he's gonna freaking miss again, okay? He draws his blade in a smooth motion and swipes at you, and you just barely manage to sidestep the attack. You dart backwards, stumbling over yourself in your haste to get away, while he swings his katana wildly around while making lots of weird grunting noises. Once again, his mouth has been writing a check. His mouth has been writing a check his sword hand can't cash, but you doubt that matters when trolls are stronger and faster than you in general, and he's accompanied by a giant murder drone. It's lucky for you to split, and you better do a quick lickety. Glancing around, you notice that you're about to cross over a bridge with an underpass beneath it. Perfect! Just like an action hero, you can hop right over the edge of the road, duck into the underpass, and find a nice hiding spot. You dash toward the traffic barrier, vault nimbly over it, and oh Jesus, piss, this is way higher than you thought it was. You hit the ground hard with a resounding crack. Whoop, that's another rib broken. And for a moment, your vision goes blank as a wave of pain sears your nerves. As the pain disorientation begins to fade, you decide it's about time to take stock of your situation. A couple of broken bones, old hat, a troll trying to kill you, not unfamiliar, trolls attacking you, same, and sun about to rise and scorch you into nothing, again. Individually, you've risen to the challenge of just barely handling each of these problems, but all at once? Yeah, you think you're just gonna call this one here? What am I calling this? I'm dead? Useless. Okay, whatever, anime nerd. Sorry dude, but I like subs. It's entertaining how wrong you are. But even the greatest of Alternia's philosophizers require sparring opponents on the battlefield of the intellect. To challenge your assumptions with my superior logic and taste will be a fulfilling task. Come in. Oh, I'm sorry, he invites me anyway? Not really the reaction you were hoping for, but you say anything to get into someone's hive, so you'll take it. Is it gonna be the same thing? Tegiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow and you step into the foyer. The hive looks normal from the outside. Okay, I think it's the same thing. Sandals, merchandise, posters. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, let's see what the other response will get us then. Alright, the last option is, both are good? I mean, sometimes both are good, it kind of depends. Oh, he hates that, wow. His expression immediately sours, a look you're all too familiar with. If you had a mouse, you'd be frantically scrolling the wheel upwards to roll back time and make a new choice. Roll the wheel! But you live in the real world where you have to face the consequences of your god-awful anime opinions. Have you no conviction? The anime club is a sanctuary for those of strong will and finely honed arguments, not a shelter for cowardly peasants. What debate can come from a psychopathic toady such as yourself? How are you going to stimulate my intellect? You begin to sputter and protest. You're plenty stimulating. You've got a pretty long list of friends who you've stimulated. Oh, okay, that's not something you want to say to someone you just met. You've got a pretty long list of friends who you've stimulated in all kinds of ways, platonic ones mostly, but he's not having any of it. There are other anime fans in the city. Perhaps their gatherings will be more your level. Farewell. Wow, dude, I see how it is. Slammed! Someone's a real elitist, okay? Alright, it's time to be a true anime hero and defend the shopkeeper. Alright, okay, you know this is a terrible idea, but you've seriously had it up to here with being party to the murder of random trolls. You quickly interpose yourself between Tegiri and the Gold Blood. Does he really have to kill this guy for what seems to be his first offense? You launch into an impassioned spiel about love and friendship and justice, writing the value of forgiveness and second chances really hard. And for good measure, you throw in a little side note about how Tegiri's favorite shop will close down if he kills this dude. Silence. Tegiri shoves you roughly aside and you go careening into a display full of body pillows. You watch, stomach plummeting, as Tegiri turns back to the shopkeeper and slowly draws his sword. But then, at the last second, he reconsiders. Consider yourself lucky I'm in a good mood. If I catch you selling contraband again, your life will be mine. Tegiri strides out of the store holding a fresh copy of the DVD he wanted to exchange. You give the shopkeeper a vaguely apologetic look and rush out of the store behind him. Whew, that was a close one. You thank Tegiri profusely for listening to your dumb little speech about whatever it was you said. Honestly, you've already forgot. You're clearly new to this planet. I felt pity for your naivety, but I should have just killed him. Death is the legally prescribed punishment for such crimes as his. Actually, it's the legally prescribed punishment for most crimes. I should have separated him from his head. But I looked into your pleading eyes and I saw... Tegiri goes quiet. You would describe the silence as being particularly brooding? There's a lot of silences like that on this planet. Then finally, he speaks. This isn't my first time. Of what, murder? It was just a oversweep ago, I believe. I was patrolling the hive batch in search of evildoers when I caught the unmistakable scent of smoke in the air. Upon pursuing the lead, I saw a hive, partially collapsed, partially on fire. My instincts flared and I rushed in to help the innocent soul who was trapped there. But as I was helping the girl bandage her wounds, it occurred to me that I had made a grievous error in judgment. Trolls below a certain age without a lucis or a proper hive are considered unviable and slated to be cold. By rights, I should have put her out of her misery the moment I realized my mistake. And yet, I looked into her deep grey eyes, dull from the pain of loss, and I sheathed my blade. In fact, even though she is hiveless and lucisless, I remain in contact with her to this day, knowing deep down that one day I must go where the law demands it. God, he's so dramatic, but it's just really embarrassing in my opinion. But I haven't yet. I don't know if I could. Why does my conviction waver at times like these? If he's talking about who you think he's talking about, you're pretty sure he couldn't kill her even if he tried. Wait, who is he talking about? I don't know. Unless he's talking about Palipa, who's like the assassin. But that's not the point here. The point is, he's spilling some real and true and deep emotion with you. This friendship is basically in the bag. Just gotta drop some sweeping and vague wisdom that makes him feel better about potentially not being an unthinking cog in the Alternia murder machine. You offer a light suggestion that maybe what is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing? Just a little thought. Maybe he's doing the right thing, overlooking her situation because of how obviously fucked up it is to be a homeless orphan. He goes silent for a long time, chewing his bottom lip. You're naive. Naive, uncultured, unenlightened? Wow, thanks. You think the world is simple, like a cartoon for children. But this is Alternia, a land ruled by cold logic where men such as myself must make the hard decisions. It's not easy being dedicated to the code of law. It asks much of us and gives us little in return, but it gives us order. It keeps the beast at bay. If I were to question it, what then? Would I begin to wonder if it is unjust for a blue blood to command his servants, for imperial drones to call the infirm, for us to obey the ever-changing whims of the Alternian royalty? It takes a lot of effort to suppress your, well, yeah, but for the sake of this burgeoning friendship, you allow him to continue his monologue. riots in the streets. Trolls are already killing trolls, dude. Even more than usual? I mean, no, I cannot waver. These hands must remain steady and true. Though I feel a pull toward the scorching flames of the light, I must continue my path and remain in the tender, righteous embrace of the dark. Truth be my blade, intellect my sensei, and justice my only companion on this lonely road. He goes on like that for quite a while. It all starts to muddle together in your head, and you lose count of how many times he's repeated some screed about justice and truth and being smarter than all the other trolls in the room. It honestly sounds to you like he's just lonely. Yeah, both of these trolls in this volume are kind of just lonely nerds. You know a whole lot about loneliness and the poor management thereof. Some people throw themselves into their nerdy anime hobby, and others become obsessed with making friends no matter the cost of their mental or physical well-being. Yeah, dude, look at yourself. Look in the mirror. Maybe he just needs a couple of good pals to remind him what it's like to have a heart. But if you try to tell him that, he'll probably just respond with another long and winding monologue, likely stolen from an anime he watched recently. Maybe you should just let him vent. You have my thanks for lending your ear. Oh, a compliment brings you out of your reverie. Nothing interrupts the old introspection machine like the opportunity to chug on the succulent ambrosia that is any kind of praise or gratitude. It's no big deal, you Tom. You're a great listener. That's what friends are for. Has he considered having more friends? Like you, for example? He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lonesome swordsman thing, so you hastily try to change the topic. What's with his eyes? Most trolls you've seen have had great irises, and those who didn't follow the typical biological trend of displaying their blood color. Tegiri pauses, his grip tensing on his sword as his fangs dip into his lip. Oh jeez, this must be his most closely guarded secret. Have you earned enough trust to hear it? Their contact lens for cosplay. Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Actually, is cosplaying as a different blood caste even legal on this planet? If he's doing it, it probably is, right? I mean, it's not like he's lying because he's still wearing his shirt and he has a thing on his sword which is displaying his true blood, so... You're about to ask when something distracts you. The sight of another troll standing in front of Tegiri's hive, using it as shelter from the rising sun. They're pacing back and forth with precise movements, glancing at one of the windows almost like they're plotting to break in. And when they hear footsteps approaching, they perk up and whirl their head around. Hey, wait a second, you recognize them. Oh, is it the girl that he spared? It is Pulipa! I had a feeling. Pulipa spots you before Tegiri spots her. Her expression is hard and stoic, eyes glancing between the two of you as she assesses the situation. And then, like she's drawing out of disguise, her face softens and she smiles. Hey, what the hell is that? Tags? I was starting to wonder where you were and if anime night was cancelled. Your Lucis is staring at me through the window. I think he thinks it's funny watching me stuck outside, roasting to death while you're chasing Purbies around the hive batch. Heh, classic Tadashi. Why were you late? Just busier than expected with some work. She shoots you a sharp glance. Assembling some new mecha models, is that what your cover job is? You know how it is. Yes, of course. It's all too easy to get wrapped up in one's hobby. Anyway, I didn't realize we have a third for once. Not to mention somebody I know. Nani? Seriously, dude? Nani? Nani? You and my new kohai have already met? She pauses, her eyes darting back and forth between you two once more. She seems to be assessing the situation, wearing a look like an assassin trying to evade capture. You recognize that look, considering she was literally wearing it the last time you met? We're kind of morals. We are? Whoa, that's absolutely not what you thought you were, but you just kind of nod your head and roll with it. It seems to be what she wants you to do. Oh, morals. Tegiri's face tightens almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Nothing gets past your whole friend-making eyes. Well, actually, a lot of things get past them, but not this particular thing. You're finally tuned to the nuances of social situations, as long as those nuances don't involve making a binary choice on which your social future hinges. Well, as I know, I am far too busy studying the blade to pursue quadrants of any sort. Yeah, while you were filling your quadrants, I was busy studying the blade. A foolish waste of time. Were it not for the laws of this land, I would swear off them entirely. So many memes. Are you sure it isn't that you just can't get a date? You don't have to play the mysterious loner, you know. There's other clubs you could join instead of insisting on running your own. He huffs, looking away. You hear his losers barking from behind the window in a tone that sounds like laughter. Even Tadashi is laughing at you. Fools mock that which they cannot understand. And to think I was going to congratulate you on finding love. Once you finish your spiel about romance being dumb, Pulipa gives him a light, friendly whap, which he responds to with a smile. You can tell the exchange is friendly, not only because he's smiling, but because he's still standing. Enough banter. The harsh glare of the sun begins to crest, and we have Eastern Alternian animation to indulge in. I'll allow you both to spend the day in my hive if needed. There's space. Oh yeah, anime night. Oh shit, a slumber party? And with more than one participant? Even? That's gotta be worth extra friend points. You are so in. Shelter from the broiling death orb in the sky barely even registers to you as an added bonus. Pulipa smiles at you as the three of you enter Tegiri's hive. Oh yeah guys, anime night. Tegiri covered over to though. Wom wom. Weird dog loses. Tegiri covers up all of his windows to block out the sun and then starts up the new copy of his DVD, which thankfully seems to meet his standards this time. You settle in on the couch, basking in the warm glow of friendship, and prepare to lose yourself to hours of the beautiful, wonderful animes. Oh, look at that guys. Some mysterious alternative text I cannot read. Anime night with my two friends and that weird monkey dog Lucis. Alright guys, another two trolls befriended. These two trolls are a bit on the sadder side of the scale, of whatever scale that is when it comes to befriending trolls. One dude is like, we finally met, that actually probably wants more friends than we do, and then the other one kind of on the same level but just tries to act really cool and throws in a lot of nerdy ass anime otaku terminology. Okay, so we kind of learned a little bit, you know, backstory from all that weird stuff. Is that I believe he's okay. First of all, I don't even know why he's going around calling trolls. I think he just created this job for himself, like literally no one asked him to, is what I think, but he's doing it. And then I guess Pulipa is the one he spared, and it seems like he was kind of iffy when she's like, we're more rails. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe there's something going on there, maybe there's nothing, I don't know. We're all friends now, it's all good. I have a car, I have a palm husk, life is going good. I'm gonna be befriending more friends, and then I don't know what's gonna happen at the end of these friend volumes. Hopefully some kind of epic battle, because we're clearly recruiting people. I feel like, you know, recruiting many trolls with various abilities, and I feel like this gotta all come into play somehow, but we won't know until we reach volume 18. I think we're volume 10, so there's 8 more to go. We don't know what's gonna happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I will leave this video here. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Let me know what you think about these two trolls. They're kind of cute and cool, and then some of them are just really weird. You know, especially that nerd otaku guy there. Anyway, I will see you guys next time.